Welcome to Luvthemknives, and we've got the Wee Knife Minax today. And yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I saw it at the SHOT Show in January of 2020, and then it took forever to get put out there in the marketplace. But here it is, boys. Ferrum Forge design. Nah, it ain't like the Civivi Odium. Thank God. It's bigger than the Odium, but it's not as big as like the Fortis or Archbishop in their Pro Series. And of course, their Pro Series, to my knowledge, is manufactured by Wee Knives. So Wee Knives is making this too. Only this is a Wee knife, not a Ferrum Forge, manufactured knife. But, and here's your stuff about it, by the way, Minax, the 2007B. So I got the gray, which is kind of a heavy stone wash, and then it's a CPM 20 CV blade steel, and that's a good thing. And the action on this thing, look at that. I mean, hey, it's nice, no question about that. And the knife feels solid. Now, if this was a 4-inch blade and 8 3/4 overall, or whatever it needs to be to hold a 4-inch blade in it, I'd like it many, many more. Many more. But no, it's not. And I kind of get it. I guess you can get their Pro Series stuff, which is a little bit bigger than this. So this is kind of a compromise. At 3, not really quite 3.5, is it? 3.35. Okay, if you put it down here in the middle of that, in that choil, 3.5. Cutting length, just a tad over 3 inches. So you're looking at, let's just say 90 millimeters. Not quite 8 inches. It's under 8, so it's about 20 centimeters. It's not as big as the Paramilitary 2. Paramilitary 2 is a bigger knife. Not by much, but by a little over 1/4 inch. Now, let's see what our blade thickness is here. Probably 3.5, right? No, it's, oh my God. That's a surprise, really. 3.8, 3.9, close to 4 millimeters. 0.15 there. And let's do the overall. 0.52. At 13.2. Okay, so not all that thick here, but it is thicker than like a PM2, which is like a 0.46. But I'm surprised that the blade stock is that thick, to tell you the truth. Now, let's find out if the knife will be a knife. For goodness gracious. And it's CPM 20 CV blade. Yeah, that looks pretty substantial there. Comes in a box. And which way did I pop the box open? I only open them on one end. What the hell? There's the pouch. And you get the stickers with the birds. And yeah, that is an owl. Yeah, I said it was a hawk once. Hey, I don't care. It's a raptor and it eats varmints. And there you go. There's your dragon. Is that a dragon or not? Okay, let's get that one straight. And then you get a microfiber cloth and you get, little paperwork card thingy. But, I mean, at least you get a nice zipper pouch for your $849,000 and a box. So that's good. Now, yeah, it is $849,000. It's $263. Now, LTK is your discount code. You at least get 10% off there, so that'd be another $26. So that'll put you down at what, $24, $25 overall. You wish. And here's your specs if you're interested in reloading that. But, it is very EDCable, is it not? Okay. Heavy stonewash. Now, I think you can get this in a DLC coated or bronze. Take a look at that online. In fact, I may have printed that off a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So, this one, I believe, antique bronze, and then this one is black Okay, so yeah, I just got the regular. I kind of like just the regular silver. I don't know that I need it bronzed, but bronze might have been nice. But this is cool. It's very industrial looking. I love the design. I think Ferrum Forge does a great job designing knives. I think when you see their knives, you recognize their knives. There's your lockup. 30% probably. And we'll disassemble it. It's really got nice action though. Look at that. Maybe a little guillotine-ish, but I'll tell you what, they got this thing set up to where right there, I mean, it's really nice because the fidget factor, okay? Boom, hits you in the thumb, it's already over the detent ball, and boom, walks around with you and just drops. Centered up, no blade play, no lock rock. So, okay, you're going to be paying net after a 10% discount, $240, etc. But you'll get that much money's worth of fidget out of it, that's for sure. And you got the cutaway in the blade, so it's easy to flick. So a lot of times, to hell with the flipper tab, as far as I'm concerned. I'll just flick it. In fact, I could cut that flipper tab off and be happy right there. But, I get it. Flipper tab's nice. And you know what? Flipper tab is not overdone, but it's jimped here all the way up to the top. Very intuitive, easy when you grab it, bang, you've got it going. So really not bad at all. Pocket clip. It's got 2 screws in it. It's right hand, tip up, carry only, no left hand. But it doesn't interfere with the design. And what they have done, which was nice, is they've done this pattern here. They've done a lot of interesting machine work to kind of keep it lively here. And then on the back, they've emulated this as best they could considering the frame lock, and then these 2 lines here as well. So they've kept it balanced, design wise. And blade to handle length is pretty daggone good, and design flow is great. Comes right into here, there. I mean, I like that. That's good. Another nice thing, of course, is the backspace. It really completes the design for me. Wraps around here, all the way up here, and it's jimped. Okay, so there is some tactile response there, or tactile capabilities. And, lately they've gone to all number 8s here. So when we take this apart, we'll be able to certify that as well. Front choil. Okay, so you can climb up on that blade, and then even back here, you can get up on this jimping, which isn't too sharp, but it's definitely there, and you can feel it. So it's really appropriate. Is there a recurve there? I'm not seeing one. So you got good belly on the blade. It should be a good, all-purpose user. And as we've been Jack John, we need to put it on the scales, because that's another big deal. You probably saw it on the stats on that page I showed you, but 4.65 ounces at 131.7 grams. So it's not bad. It's a solid piece of kit, isn't it? Right there. Ergos are good. Neutral, and here, perfect, fits. It's not too big. It's not too small. It doesn't push you around, at least for my fingers. And then they can all get on there, and reverse grip feels fine as well. What do you think? I mean, I do like it. I like the design. I like it better than the Archbishop. I don't know. I just never warmed up to the Archbishop. The Fortis I liked. I really did. And I may have to circle back around and get one of those. If this thing was another inch longer, it'd be nice. It'd be nice, like right under 9 inches overall length. It does make a difference to me. I don't know why it should, but it does. But this should be really nice and easy to carry, and just a good user EDC. Yeah, man, we knives they do such a great job. Let me see where my balance is on this. So yeah, there it is. Okay, we're good. Drop. D10 on this one. Well, it's right in there with most of the flippers I've been doing lately. Let me turn this around, see. Okay, yeah, I can snap it out. It's around a 5.0. I mean, it's just, no, I can't do that. So it's really appropriate for this. I wouldn't want it any harder for sure. They could probably get away with it being a little softer, but no, I'd say this is dialed in really, really well. It's just the fidget factor is wonderful on this, and the design is great. I think it is. I mean, I don't see where you fault this. There's really no hot spots here. They clean it up fit and finish wise really nice. You got no chance of touching the blade in here. Of course, the design is Ferrum Forge, so that's world class. And just all these little areas are done very, very nicely. Obviously, take a look at the blade. No billboarding or obnoxious stuff on there. The little teeny maker's mark, or designer's mark in this case, of Ferrum Forge. Yeah, just right. So let's bust it apart. And of course, we can't go from the front because there's no entree there. But the way they do their pivots is that they lock in place here, so you don't have to worry about the fact that the whole thing's going to spin. So you won't need to come into the front to stabilize it regardless. This is locked in place here. And that's nice. They do some thoughtful things when they make their knives. And there we go, another number 8 here. Like a fine-tuned machine, doesn't it? Look at that sucker. Nicely done, which, draws your attention to the fact that you've got a screw here and you got the pocket clip and the pivot, but one thing I failed to mention, look on the front. Where's the screws? You got the pivot going through, but that's it. You have no other screws. Nice, clean look, isn't it? And that's what I've always thought if I was going to design a knife, to consider maybe the thought of minimal hardware showing and coming through from the back, so the presentation side doesn't show any, and you have very little on the back. But nicely done there. They're thinking about it. And okay, these are number 8s too. And let me start on this one. But it's a real positive feel with these screws, so that's a good thing. And oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, and I never really bring this up very often, but these are the Weehaw brand hardened German steel bits. And this is just a nothing. You can go anywhere and buy a little ratcheting one if you want, or just a fixed if you want. It doesn't matter. But you just get these little 1/4-inch bit sets from T5 to T10 through, and that's it right here, KC Tools. See that? Okay. There's probably your number, 71570. But see, you get a number 5 through a number 10. So you've got, a lot of times you may need a 9. There's been times I've needed a 10, but always an 8 and always a 6. Rarely a 7 or a 5, but I have had an instance where I needed a 5. But then these are like $8 for the whole set. So why waste your money on fixed drivers that are all in one? And when these tines screw up, which over time they will, you can't just replace it. You have to throw the whole driver away. Don't do that. Be economical. This will last forever. And then these bits are replaceable super cheap. Keep 2 or 3 sets of these around. I do. So that's a great deal. Another one that you might consider, though, is this with the little micro. And it's got T3 through T8. Okay, and these are micro bits, so they're not a 1/4 inch bit, but this is WEHA, so this is hardened German steel, but this is an aluminum casing, and all the bits fit here. So if you ever just want to bring a portable, you know, that's nice. So check that out. I got, you know, I was on their site the other day because somebody asked me about them, and I went on, I go, damn, I want another one of those little drivers. So I got, you know, now I've got 2 of them, I think. Okay, never mind, back to the knife. Okay, so here we go. You can see with this pocket clip, okay, that you've got this screw going all the way through, because what it's doing is it's supporting this as well as the other screw. So you've got that connecting. The other one, hey, it's just going to go into the scale. But you can see that. But there's not much, is there? There's 2 long screws and then the little extra for the pocket clip, and then the pivot. Bingo bango, that's it. So the thing should come apart, and it does. Okay, and there you go. Yeah, and of course they didn't weight relieve on the inside because they did it on the outside here, and they did a bunch of it. So that's good, and it's clean, isn't it? Man, that's clean. Hardened steel insert over travel stop, okay, and a ceramic detent ball. This is a washer in here that's a steel washer, okay? And then, of course, ceramic bearings. We got the backspacer rolling around because the other one came through the pocket clip all the way through. And there's just a locator there because they only had that and that running through there. So they just put that little pin in there as extra stability. And then ceramic. Ceramic bearings, nothing fancy. I mean, it's not anything to write home about necessarily. Detent. Okay, and then it says CPM. They do this in really, really small writing. I think you can technically see this when the knife is, you know, when it's assembled. But wow, it's really stealth, isn't it? Which is nice that they're doing that. I think there's been a bunch of people who've screamed about billboarding so much that they've got the point. They got the point. Now, let's pull this out and take a look. So we've got a round pivot. It's not that it's D-shaped, but it's that there's a machined notch there. And that matches up with the notch in the front right here. So it centers the logo. Okay, so it's not going to sit down until it hits that notch, and then it sits down. Otherwise, it's going to be slightly raised, but it sits down like that. So then that stops it from being able to move there. Nice little device for that. And then there's your blade stop, which you can just pull out or put back in. No point in pulling it out. It's clean. So let's put this puppy back together again, and we'll just stick this on there. Got me a new bottle of KPL. I bought 2 of them. They're not that expensive. I think I got mine. Well, I went to their website and bought them. But I like this KPL. It smells good, and it lasts a long time. It takes a long time. And I take apart a lot of knives, brother. So it takes a long time to go through it. So it's like really no money. And here we go with that. Another set of bearings. So this is pretty primitive Pete here. This is real easy to do. I'm going to kick this right on top, because I don't have to worry about a D-shaped pivot or fitting it up against anything. It's round. And then I can put this pivot screw back in here. And let me throw my... And you can see that, yeah, I mean, I guess I failed to say anything. You know, you've got a little surround with the screw in it. It just came out as one piece, but it is actually a 2-piece here. Throw that back down, and I don't tighten it very tight when I do that, and I don't think you need to either. So here's the pocket clip, and I just left the screws in there But I'm going to roll that puppy right on through. And, you know, you got to, okay, there we go. You got to line that spacer up because it goes through there. And then these are both number 8s. So let's see what we need to do. We're good. Okay. And you know, it's a positive feel to these screws, by the way, when you do this. The hardware's good. It feels good, at least. And, you know, Big Long John here is the one solo that's not involved with anything else. And he's going to go on through and capture the front as well. Whoops, come on. I don't need hardened steel dragging across the titanium scale. And I didn't nick it. Okay. And is it centered? Oh, baby, yes. Now, how's that action? Oh, like a dream. Like a dream. And, nah, there's no play. And it is what it is, but it was easy to take apart and put back together. Great ergos. It's fairly lightweight for what it is. Nice choil here. Sharp. Premium steel with the 20 CV steel. You know, total titanium. Just a great knife. I like it. I know it's, you know, it ain't cheap. I get that. And you know, that's what I feel about knives that are $250, you know, in that range. There's guys that buy knives all the time and pay big money. So me saying $250 is money, I think a lot of you guys can relate to that. But there's a lot of guys, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I've seen people carry $2,500 knife like it's a Ganzo toss away. So hey, we all got different strata. But you know what? Show me a $1,500 knife that is so much better than this. When they get to a certain level, in my estimation, after handling a lot of things, when they get to a certain level, I think it's really minuscule increments of improvement for the dollar. So I think you get your dollar's worth here. As you go up, it gets more difficult to discern that. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. Hey, subscribe and join my Patreon. Get in on those table sales early so you can get the best knives. We do that. And you guys, stay sharp.